What's up, y'all? Thanks for joining the Travel Tales and Talk podcast with Derek and Makayla. I'm Derek.
I'm Makayla.
Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. And once again, thanks for joining us on our travels, Derek and Makayla. We're on the way to Seville. Our reason for being in Spain.
To go see my friend.
Yes, your college friend. I consider her a family friend now.
Yes.
She's a family friend. And also, this is the location of La Feria.
Yes, the April Fair in Seville, Spain.
Ooh, what a blast. So, Sevilla is the fourth largest city in the country of Spain. I didn't know that. I thought it was the second largest, but that's Barcelona. And then, is it where you used to live?
I live in Zaragoza.
That's the third largest city.
Oh.
Found that out doing my research as well. So while we're there, we do our tourist thing like we always do. And we go to the cathedral.
Oh, you love it.
I love it. I love it.
That.
I love it. The cathedral was awesome. Every time, I guess it's my second time going. You've gone 3 or 4 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I learn something new every time. I see something different every time. I enjoy that place. No matter how many times we go. And then we did, what was that other location? The Mushroom.
Oh, La Seta.
La Seta. I hadn't done that before. I know you wanted to do it really bad. It's a cool structure. Very, very IG worthy. Very IG worthy.
Yes, it is an interesting art installation.
So we take in all the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm sorry, not centers.
Mm-hmm.
So the palace, the cathedral, and the archives of the Indies. I didn't know that was there. The archives of the Indies. I think that would be a very good place for us to visit next time.
Yes.
It holds all their data on pretty much how they conquered the world. But
what? Okay, because this is new to me. I didn't know that existed. I guess Derek came across this.
I'm just kidding.
On his search.
So doing my search, I find out this is where they keep all the information, their archives on the Spanish Empire. So their maps, their letters to each other from the New World to the Old World. We missed out on that one too. We dropped the ball on that one. She never told us about that one.
No.
Esty didn't tell us about this one.
Because once again, my friend, she's from Sevilla, and she's looking at Sevilla through the eyes of, a
civilian.
Yeah. No, right. And not as a tourist.
Yes.
So,
I would have loved to see the communication back and forth between Columbus and the king, or the king with his generals, the maps.
Next time
we
will be
back. That's
back
on the list, number one.
Because we have to go back to Malaga.
Yes, that's on the list. That's number one. The number one stop is that General Archive of the Indies. We have to go there. And the cathedral, the tower. We walked up that tower, more steps. Our quads should be crazy. We went up to the top of this tower, the bell tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was at one point the tallest structure in the city, and they had this ordinance that they couldn't have anything taller than that structure. Then they built that hotel that sticks out like a sore thumb.
It's like in the last 10 years that they were granted permission to build taller than Giralda. But
it looks like it's an eyesore.
It is. 'Cause
it throws the city off.
Just imagine being in a large city, where there's only the church basically is the tallest thing. Like, as far as the eye can see, you see all these rooftops, and then you have the church.
Yeah.
Tower. The tower is part
of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just gives you just an idea of how important religion is.
Mm-hmm. And it's been around for a long time too.
Oh, yeah.
I think 1400s is what I saw.
They began building the cathedral in 1402.
And they
completed it in 1519. And the cathedral, it's another Gothic structure. is the largest Gothic church in the world, the third, debatable fourth largest cathedral.
Right.
Inside it, you can find Columbus,
The tomb of Columbus.
and his son Diego.
And his son
Sorry,
Diego.
that didn't come off right. I'm sorry.
Don't say it like that.
Columbus,
Don't say it like that.
Columbus and his son, and also Alfonso the Tenth
Mm-hmm.
and Ferdinand the Third.
Ferdinand III. And also, with this cathedral being around since 1402, it is still an active church.
It is
It's still an active church. I
Yeah.
think they were holding some type of service when we were there.
They were, because we had to pause and find an
Yeah.
image of the Virgin
Yeah.
Mary. We didn't do it. We kind of just stood in our bubble with
I didn't know what they were talking about.
because we didn't know what to do. We
was
just
like-
kind of just stood still like statues and dropped our head
Yeah.
in prayer.
I was like, is this the Virgin Mary? Is that? It was a bunch of paintings. I'm like, is this her? Like, they
I
didn't give
knew
any
the-
direction.
Yeah,
I was like, not everyone
but
practices
I
that
just
religion.
and I was just amazed that when my friend told me that, yeah, you can get married here. I was like, huh? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It said the waiting list is like 2-3 years long, but you can get married here.
I always thought it was like a museum. I didn't know it was active.
It's an
like
active
it's active every day. There's something going on other than tourism. There are weddings. There's church going on. I think I read somewhere they have baptisms there.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
active.
church. I mean, it is said to also hold the relics of the crown of thorns of Jesus Christ in this
we
church.
gotta validate that.
Yes. So I was like, okay, all right. And just like they say, the tomb of Christopher Columbus may or may not have his remains, but still.
So I was
know.
eavesdropping on a conversation from a guided tour.
Mm-hmm.
And this young lady said it's not his entire body. There are bits and pieces
Yikes.
of Columbus in that tomb. Some body parts are in Italy, I think she said, and some body parts they can't find. So it's bits and pieces of Columbus in this tomb.
Mm.
I thought that was very interesting. Very interesting point. We were there for like 2 hours, right? Because there was a long line to walk up the tower.
It was a long line to walk up the tower, because the tower gives impressive views of the city.
Yeah.
It's very, very beautiful. The walk up the tower. Okay, guys, I don't know what it is about me and finding places to hike. La Giralda, the bell tower, felt like another hike because I forgot how many floors up. But like I said, it was the tallest point
24, I think.
in Spain well, not in Spain, but in that city. And there are no steps in the bell tower. It's just
A path.
it's just a spiral path. Not even really a true spiral. It kind of goes up in corners like
yeah,
a block.
It's like a block, like squares.
Yeah. But it's flat because they used to ride horses up that bell tower because it was a legit bell tower and they had to
Ring
the bell. I don't remember if it was every hour.
I didn't know about the horses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was made for horses to
Go up
and there was
down
a person that rode on a horse that went up that path.
to ring the bell.
Yeah, to ring the bell.
See, I learn something new every day. Every day.
I thought you knew.
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for informing me today.
Instead of me, come over here and take this picture.
Well, we did take a lot of pictures.
We did, because like I said, the bell tower is beautiful because there's cutouts, like there's windows,
Yes.
and the windows they're cutouts where you can stand and rest.
Yeah.
Well, I use it to rest.
They did
And
have some
they have
chairs there. They had
marble
seats. Yeah.
let's not disrespect the chairs. They were marble
Yeah. Seats.
I don't know. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it was 24. Because when you go up a square, it'll tell you what floor you're on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dug into the wall. So it's 24.
Very beautiful. And a close neighbor to the cathedral, I want to say it was almost next door,
What's that?
is the Alcazar.
Oh, is it the Game of Thrones location?
Yes, the Alcazar
Yeah.
is
I'm listening to you, baby.
actually the summer home to the royal family.
It's still active.
It is active. So imagine when they're not there, when the royal family is not there in Sevilla, you can tour the Alcazar, and they have the most beautiful gardens, and it's breathtaking. It's also another
Must see.
Gothic structure with all the tile, and you can see the Moorish influence all up and through there. And it was also used in the Game of Thrones. It is the set of Sunspear. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know what Sunspear is, and that was their home. That's where they filmed whenever they wanted to show Sunspear.
I gotta watch Game
It
of
was
Thrones.
Alcazar. Yep.
I gotta watch at least 3 episodes of Game of
So
Thrones.
now, Derek, you can tell everybody you walked around the royal Spanish family
Yes.
summer home.
Summer home. And they still use the second floor. So on the second floor of this place, they're there
Yeah,
in the summertime.
you can't go up
You just
there.
can't go up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, y'all.
Then after we done that, we head to the mushroom.
The Las Setas.
Las Setas. Thank
Yes.
you. And the La Seta is amazing too.
Yeah, it's actually it's a wooden structure, a wooden sculpture, and setas means mushrooms, and I think the overall shape of it was a shape of different mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I guess if you turn a mushroom upside down and you see all of the little slits, that was the shape
Right.
or form of
That's what
Las
they were going
Setas.
for.
Yes.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
just kind of walk. There's like little paths up and through there. You just walk through it. It just gives you another view, of Sevilla.
And we missed out on the museum. There's a museum on the inside.
There is a museum on the
We
inside.
didn't get a chance to
It
see
was
that.
closed
Yeah.
the day that we went.
But you get like a panoramic view of old Sevilla is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And Sevilla itself is a beautiful city.
yes.
Breathtaking. So beautiful. All the old buildings. And it's crazy because I remember like we used to catch the bus from my friend's house to downtown. And my friend be like, yeah, that's Hernan Cortez's house. I'm like, huh? Hernan Cortez? You talking about the conquistador? Hernan
In some neighborhood.
Cortez?
It's just in the
Just in
neighborhood.
some random neighborhood
Yep.
that the city bus just drives by. She's like, yeah, that's his house.
Yep.
I was like, what? I was like,
Yeah.
people living there? It's like, well, not now. It's like a
Museum.
it's a museum now, but I think at one point it became like an orphanage or something. And it's crazy. And then down the street from Las Setas, I think it was like the house of one of Columbus's relatives. And she was like, yeah, it's right.
It's
I was
right
like,
here.
I'm like, what? And
Just pointing out
like,
random
yeah, people live
historic
there.
homes. Just on every block, there's a random historic home.
that like we read about in our history,
Yeah.
United States, and like these people, like that's their house and it's still standing, and it's beautiful. Like the architecture is just breathtaking there.
Outstanding. So that's a little bit about Sevilla.
Well, one thing I guess we can. There's one thing we forgot about was
What's that?
the Plaza de España,
Oh, is that what you did the photo shoot?
the photo shoot. Listen to him. I always talking about pictures.
No, it's seriously though. That's where you did the photo shoot,
Yes.
right?
So the Plaza de España is what is that shape?
It's a
Kinda
half
like
circle.
It's like a half circle, and that's where they filmed a scene from Star Wars in it. It was
Yes.
when Anakin and Amidala, was it Princess? I forgot. Look, don't quote me on it, but it's when they were walking and they had luggage. She was going back to Naboo somewhere. Okay, all right.
Star Wars.
Okay, let me
Episode
stop.
2, Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was the scene he was helping her with her luggage. I'm sorry, y'all. I nerd out
I
sometimes.
see you nerding out. Funny thing about it is I don't recall this movie, but I watched it.
I'll show you again.
Yeah. You're the Star Wars nerd. But before we talk about the fair or La Feria, I just want to talk about we went grocery shopping for the first time in Spain. I'd never done that before. Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a child, but as an adult.
No.
So I didn't know this. We go to Costco, and Stevie Lee says, we need to buy milk and eggs. And I'm looking for the refrigerated section for the milk and eggs. It's in a box on a pallet. I'm like, do you put this, what do you do with this? It's like, our milk doesn't go in the refrigerator. We buy it like this and we leave it out. And the same for the eggs. I was like, that is mind blowing. So it's because most of the milk is quote unquote UHT or ultra high temperature. That means your milk can last for like 3 months just sitting on a counter in a box. Mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the eggs, they don't put their eggs in the refrigerator because they don't wash the eggs. So when you wash the eggs, you wash off this quote unquote protective coating to keep bacteria out. So that's why we put it in the refrigerator here in the States, because we wash that off. They don't do that. At least in Spain. That was new to me. And then here's the kicker. I never paid attention to this, but as Stevie Lee said, what blew her away when she lived in the States was the cereal aisle. It's like, why the cereal aisle? Because you have so many selections. And I thought she was just kidding. We're in Costco. They have this entire aisle for cereal. It's only 5 different styles of cereal. You had Fruit Loops, something called Flips, Kellogg's Corn Flakes, the white box with no sugar. Then you had Frosted Flakes with sugar and Frosted Flakes without sugar. That's all you had. Nothing else, nothing more. So when you go to the grocery store to buy cereal in Spain, you don't have very many options. That was mind-blowing to me. And then when we asked Nadia, what about Pop-Tarts? She didn't know what a Pop-Tart was. They don't have Pop-Tarts over there. It was like, what is a Pop-Tart? And then my favorite soda, Mountain Dew. I believe Mountain Dew is illegal over there.
Illegal?
Illegal. They did not have a single can of Mountain Dew in the country. I was so disappointed. So we might need to stop drinking Mountain Dew. So after we grocery shop, you go on a shopping spree for your gear for the fair.
Oh, yeah. I went out looking for a flower for my hair and the shoes. And I don't know why I can't remember the
brooch.
The shawl that they wear. It's a certain name for it, and it escapes me. But there's a little brooch that you can use to keep it, clipped onto you. Mm-hmm. So we went shopping for those.
And those things were expensive.
They were very expensive. The shawl, I'm thinking, $30, $40. A really nice one, over €100.
Yes. I think we saw one that was like $250.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just a piece of cloth.
No.
But it's part of the attire.
Yeah,
so.
It's embroidered. There's fringe. It's elaborate. It's beautiful. And yes, you're going to pay a pretty penny. You can get the cheap ones at $40. Yeah. And you can tell it's cheap. So you don't want to be walking around like,
You don't want to embarrass yourself.
No. Just if you're going to wear one, spend the money to get the nice one.
You bought the rose for your hair. Mm-hmm. There was a pendant you bought to hold the shawl together. And we looked at some shoes, but I don't think we
didn't buy any shoes. I cheated and ended up walking around in my sneakers, my tennis shoes.
You sure did. I totally forgot.
And I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Because
you did a lot of walking.
It was a lot of walking.
A lot of walking.
And it was a lot on the ground too. And you got to keep in mind, we're in Old Town. Like there's cobblestone floors. Yeah. I mean ground. Streets. Cobblestone streets. Yeah. So heels. And the ladies were wearing them now. They were wearing them, but I was like, "Oh, bless you," because I couldn't do it.
Oh, I think we skipped a step, baby. We hadn't told the people what La Feria was.
Oh, I'm sorry, La Feria. It's the April fair, and now a lot of the towns down there, they have their own fairs, and it's basically a fair, just like a fair here in the States, where there's rides, there's bumper cars, roller coasters. But you get dressed up. So the ladies typically wear flamenco dresses where they're like hugging your body all the way down to right above your knee.
Yeah.
And then you get all these, flare, ruffles, just beautiful, beautiful dresses. And the guys will wear a suit coat.
No, you got to speak about those dresses. Those dresses are not cheap either.
They are not cheap.
We went to one shop. I think they had a dress for like $600-700, and it was like a
Euros.
basic Euros.
And remember, right now, Euros is a little bit more than so a 600 euros is what $650
somewhere in there.
dollars
More than the US dollar.
Yeah,
But that was a less expensive flamenco dress.
that was
That was a baseline.
a basic looking dress.
Yes.
So
And a lot of women, they would make them by hand, and it takes a long time.
yeah, because my friend and I, we both decided. Well, she makes her dress every year, her and her daughter, and I got in on the action this year, and I started. Technically, I started a month in advance, but I really didn't start sewing it till a week. And next time we go, I am definitely going to take that full month to maybe 2 months, because as proud as I was of my dress didn't hold a candle to the one that my friend made for herself and her daughter, because she actually, her ruffles were a lot full. Yeah, they were way more full, and she actually sewed like little purses in their skirts. So imagine having a coin purse or a little wallet just sewn right into the ruffle of your dress. Just lift up that top layer and bam, there's a purse sitting right there in your ruffle. So they were able to hide her keys, her chapstick, money, cell phone, all that right there in her skirts. And I'm looking like, why you didn't tell me that you put, you got the action, this is better than a pocket. You got a whole purse in your skirt.
Right.
She was like, Mikaela, I thought you knew.
No.
I'm like, what?
This is not our culture. No, we don't know.
Mind blowing. Look, mind blown.
No,
Like,
I think you had an issue finding fabric too. Finding the fabric you wanted.
yes, because they use a certain type of fabric to make these dresses, so that the ruffles, can ruffle, basically,
ruffle,
do their
yeah.
job. But I know now, and I will definitely put in the effort, the time, do my research.
You start early.
I'm going to start early. I'm going to, source these fabrics.
You may have to import your fabric.
Yeah, source it.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because you went to Atlanta to find this fabric.
And
they didn't have it.
Yeah. And I was happy with the fabric I ultimately used, because, I'm a curvy woman, and I was able to find fabric that was thick enough and had a nice stretch so that, it can hug my body appropriately, but also leave room to walk,
Right.
which was important.
Because there was a lot of walking.
It was a lot of walking.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad, but it was a lot. So
Yeah. It may sound different to go to pretty much an amusement park dressed up, but that's how they do it.
Yeah, I was amazed at looking at these little girls on bumper cars with their dresses tucked between their legs, and and on the ride. Derek and London Rose, they rode this ride. Do you remember the ride you rode? They went up in the air and they threw you around. Yeah. And these women were on there with their dresses on, and they just strap. You know how the seatbelt, the seatbelt goes over your
tuck
shoulders,
their dresses underneath their butts.
Yeah, and they just balled their little ruffles up and put the seatbelt in there between the legs, and
so just imagine going to. For those out there, just imagine going to Six Flags and everyone has on a suit and a prom dress.
Yes, that's
what it is.
That is the equivalent. You are right.
Yep. But it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Especially when we went to the tents.
Yes.
The tents are for politicians, corporations, well-known people, famous people.
Families.
And the only way you can get in if you're a part of that family, or you've been invited, or you're on that list.
The casetas is what the tents are called.
Okay. And we were invited. And we had an amazing
You couldn't tell us nothing.
time.
We thought we were so special.
Man, we thought we were superstars walking up in there. Like, yeah, we got a cassette. These other folks watching us walk in. Like, we with the famous people. But, man, we had food, unlimited food, unlimited drink, adult beverages, and people just dancing. I think they had a DJ. They had a band. It was a party in that tent. And they start about like 8 o'clock. And they party all night to like 7 a.m. from 8 o'clock to 7 a.m. the next day. They are in there kicking it tough, and we got a piece of that too.
We did.
We did our little not the salsa. They don't salsa there, do they? Mm-mm. We did some type of Spanish dance.
We tried. We tried,
now, but man,
we looked crazy as heck, but we had a good time.
It was this older gentleman in there. He was cutting a rug, bruh. He was killing it. I was like, man, I should have went to dance class first before we came over. I didn't know they were going to be doing it like this, though. Yeah. So, La Feria was, I want to do it again. I'll do that again. I'm kind of sad we didn't ride more rides, me and London Rose. But the lines were long. Like, they have, like, from Saturday to Saturday while this event is going on, there are 5 million people that have gone through the gates. 5 million people. So that's how popular this thing is.
And it's not just 5 million people. No, there are celebrities from all over the world that travel to Sevilla to go to the fair.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a must do.
Yeah, because if you are a Hellboy fan, while we were there, the actor that plays Hellboy, he was there as well. Yeah, which was pretty cool.
And then the horses. So they
have the Andalusian horses. I'm telling y'all, we live in Lexington, and Lexington has some beautiful horses, but them Andalusian horses,
man, them horses,
they are next level beauty.
They are cut. They look like they do push-ups and sit-ups. Those horses were world-class athletes.
Yes.
I don't know what they do all day, but at night they are world-class athletes.
They prance and
they dance.
They're amazing.
They're breathtaking animals.
They are, and they're at the fair, so you would see people riding these beautiful beasts, you know, up and down these cobblestone streets. Yep. You know, it's beautiful. So, and now mind you, the streets are going to be wet, ladies, and they're going to be wet because they're constantly washing the horse poo away. So that's why. And in the women, what I love about the women at the fair, they understood this and they didn't care. There was dirt, you know, streets as well around there, and there were a few brave women wearing white flamenco dresses, and the bottom of their dresses were brown from all the, and they didn't care. They were just walking and just having a ball.
It's a party.
Yeah, and it's like it's understood. Yes, here's my dress that I paid all this money for, but I'm here to party, and so what? It gets dirty. So Dry clean or throw it away.
Or just make another one. I'll make a new one.
I'm making a new one next year anyway.
Anyway, and the guys, we had on suits.
Yeah.
So I'm on a roller coaster with a suit and tie on. But all the guys had on suit and ties.
Yeah.
They were well dressed people at the amusement park that day.
Yep. And the weather wasn't bad either.
That was great weather. Great weather. That's another thing about us. We've been very fortunate that we haven't traveled somewhere and the weather has been awful. It's always been pretty good weather. So that's been a plus. That's been a plus. So we left the fair about midnight.
But yeah, we rode the bus back home too. So the buses are running, and there's a line to get on the bus. Like it's a big thing because parking is not the easiest.
But like I said, it's a lot of people, so you're gonna probably be in the back of this parking lot.
Yeah, and so what people would do will drive their cars to a bus stop. People, they would drive to a bus stop and park, and then ride the bus to the fair.
Yep.
And which is what we did actually.
And you get dropped off pretty much
at the front door,
at the gate.
Yeah.
So that eliminates all that walking in the parking lot and paying to park.
Yep.
So yeah, an amazing time. If you're in Sevilla in April, schedule it around La Feria.
Yeah, so the fair normally
Must do.
happens 2 weeks after Easter. So whenever Easter is, look about 2 weeks later. That's when the
Yeah.
April fair happens in Sevilla.
Yeah. So we're worn out the next day, but we have a movie date.
Yes, Abigail. Abigail came out, the ballerina vampire.
It was my bright idea. I booked the tickets. I'm like, my wife is fluent in Spanish. She'll just tell me what's going on.
Annoying as heck. I'm gonna
That
need
was a
you
bad idea. We should have went to the movies where they had the subtitles as well. I didn't do that. I said, my wife would tell me what's going on. And I'm nudging her. Hey, what they just say? Hold on. I'm trying to listen. Baby, what they just say? Hold on. It said something about they going to bite his face off. I'm like, what? Tell me what he said.
That was annoying. So you just imagine you're in a movie theater. And you know how, have you ever went with a kid and the kid is
Right.
constantly tapping on you, asking
That
you
was
1,000
me.
questions?
That was me.
That's Derek. I'm like, how am I supposed to enjoy this movie? I got this man who's not, at this point, you got to use context clues to get in. And, I mean, not get in, but, to, like,
Understand,
use your context clues to watch and figure stuff
But I
out.
brought you to translate.
No, that's not what we were there for. But one thing I can say, I enjoyed Abigail a lot. And, and since then I've watched it in English. And the casting for the voice actors that dubbed the Spanish, they did a really good job matching
So they
their
matched them.
voices. Mm-hmm.
So the deep voice guy,
He had a
he
deep
actually
voice.
had a deep
Yes.
voice.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did a really good job.
Gotcha. That's a plus. That's a plus. And then after we watched this movie, unlike in the States, we were shuttled out into the parking lot. They block off. You can't go back into the movie
Nope.
theaters.
Nope.
You know where you can buy cookies and candy and popcorn?
Or go to the restroom.
Go to
That's
the
my thing.
restroom?
Go to the restroom after because which is what I had to do. I said, okay, let me go to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You there's somebody there with a flashlight.
And they
you
are-
come and it's the door. It's the exit door right next to the screen. Y'all know the one, the emergency exit door.
That leads you to the
That's
parking lot.
the one. That's the only one that's going to be unlocked for you, and you must come on down and go right on out to the parking lot exit.
No
Enjoy
s-
your evening.
No circling back.
Nope.
Bye. You've seen your feature film.
Nope.
Go home.
You
Good
should have
night.
went to the restroom beforehand.
Yes. You should have got more popcorn earlier.
Yep.
You are when that movie is over, you're out of there.
You're done.
You're done. It's no
Throw,
circling back.
throw your trash away because they're going to leave you a little trash can.
Yep.
Throw that away.
Right by the
and,
door.
And come on out.
Right by the door, there's a trash can. You got your trash, throw it in here. Bye-bye. Good night. Adios. So we get home and we're tired because the next day, don't we head back to Madrid?
I believe so.
Yep. So we've spent 2-3 days in Sevilla, and it's time to wrap this Spanish trip up and head home. But we have one more stop in Madrid. This is planned because I want to go see a football match or a soccer match. And every time they reschedule the match.
Now, let me tell y'all about this. This man had the great idea. Oh, we're going to Madrid. I'm going to catch a soccer match against who were the teams you had at first?
So it had Atletico.
And Real Madrid, right?
No, I forgot the second team.
But they were
I think it was Granada.
Was it 2 and 4?
Yeah, they were 2 and 4 in the table.
In the table. Okay, so Derek hit me with they changed the date. I'm giving him the side eye. Like, since when have you known for a major sporting event be rescheduled for a day prior?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it, right? So I'm looking at him like, you just ordered the wrong date because, the calendar in Spain is different because their week starts on what day did ours start? Ours starts on Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, yeah. So theirs starts on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They go Monday through Sunday. We go Sunday through Saturday.
And then they almost
in
got
our
me.
calendar. So I'm like, Derek over here he just messed up and didn't want to admit.
No. But here's the thing. They almost got me because they put the day first, so the date. So today
it's day, month, year is how it's written in Spanish.
Year. Yeah. So they almost got me that time, but I didn't fall for that. So.
Yeah. So the Spanish calendar is written for the day, the month, then the year. Okay. In United States, we go month, day, year.
Right.
So keep that in mind. But,
She thought I fell for that.
Oh, I was like, nah, Derek booked the wrong ticket. And so then he scheduled it for another, well, not rescheduled. He bought tickets, air quotes, bought tickets.
I bought tickets
for another match on the return leg of our trip. So we landed in Madrid and we're flying out of Madrid. So for us returning to Madrid to fly out, he bought tickets for that match too. Then hit me with the, baby, you're not gonna believe this. They changed my game again. So they kept changing the games to when we weren't, the day before when we were not in the city.
Yep.
And I'm looking at him like, whatever. But then he showed me the message, and I was like, oh, what? Mm-hmm. So you weren't lying all this time?
No need to lie to you, baby. And
it was the most bizarre thing.
And then when we were in Madrid on that Sunday, Real Madrid was playing Barcelona in Madrid.
Tell them about them tickets.
Man, them tickets $1,700 per person. 1,700 euros per person. I said, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, because Derek had the bright idea. Look, honey, when we go to Madrid, let's just walk up to the stadium and purchase tickets. Yep. Then
wrong.
The nosebleeds, wasn't it one for like $600 for one day, but their seats were separated?
No, the nosebleeds were like $1,200.
Oh, I thought you said okay. I'm sorry.
Nope, nosebleeds were $1,200. You can go down one more level, the mid level. You start off at 17, and then from there it goes up even more.
So it's a good thing. Well, not a good thing, because I had planned when we first were going to go see the Atletico. I was all on the internet searching for shirts.
You were going to buy gear and everything.
Oh, yeah, because, we want to be like fully immersed in this thing. We was going to be on purpose. And I'm glad I didn't spend the coins for that, because I would have been hot. Having all this Atletico gear, and we can't even go to a match.
We're going to put it on eBay.
I guess.
So that's Sevilla in a nutshell, and from there we're going to head to Madrid and head back home. So once again, thank you guys for joining us. I'm Derek.
I'm Makayla.
See y'all later.
Ooh, if you made it this far, you are the true champion. You could have been anywhere, doing anything, but you instead chose to spend your time with us, and for that we say thank you.
I'm Derek.
I'm Makayla. Rate, like, and subscribe. Do good, be good. Until next time.